What's up, Fragrant World? Welcome back to another Stay Fresh production. And this has got to be one of my favorite videos to do. This will be volume 3 of top 5 fragrances that are currently blowing my mind. If you've missed the other installments, you can check them out here. I'll make a playlist. And I decided that every 6 months I'm going to come at you with a new installment of this series because, as you know, as humans, we go through life, our tastes change. It's not like the things that we once liked we don't like anymore, but new things come into our radar and they get our attention and occasionally they blow our minds. So I got some fragrances here that I have been gravitating towards, ones that, I mean, there's no better way to put it than the title. They've been blowing my mind, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you what they smell like and tell you where you can get them if you're interested. So let's dive right into this. Here at the first spot, this is in no order because all 5 of them are blowing my brains into pieces right now.
That's disgusting.
Sorry, it was the best I could come up with.
That's the best? Let's just move on.
Okay, well, let's move on then.
Jeez.
That was awkward. This is from the House of Argos fragrances. I know I've been talking about them quite a bit as of late, and for good reason. I've been in touch with them since they kind of started up about 3 years ago, and their first fragrance is what I first experienced, and I loved it. And my taste kind of changed, and I didn't dislike it, but I kind of, again, just found other things. But I've recently come back to it, and my goodness, I forgot how good this is. This is the original, the OG release from Argos. This is their Homme scent. And this was released alongside the Parfums, which is also a wonderful, beautiful fragrance. That is one of the most intoxicating fragrances marketed for women that I have smelled thus far. That one blows my mind too, I just don't have it. But the Homme is fantastic, especially for the time that we're in. It's spring. We're going into summer pretty soon. This is kind of a standard fragrance, but it's a high quality rendition of a standard formula. It's kind of your classic citrus aromatic with some woody nuances in there too, but there's some depth in this. You got some citruses, like I said, there's like lemon. There's some herbal nature in there. There's a bit of a greenness as well. And it's a little floral too, which just kind of makes it soft and rounds out the edges. It doesn't smell like flowers. And the base has some cedar wood and some other woods, and also has some amber. And that amber is what really makes this unique from your average woody citrus aromatic. So it's fresh and woody, again, kind of rounded with the florals in here. So that makes it a little bit soft, even a little creamy. And again, that amber makes it warm and deep as it dries, and it also keeps it on your skin for a good while. This is one of the best performing fresh fragrances in my collection. Man, I love this stuff. And again, it is kind of based on a standard formula, but at the same time, it doesn't really remind me of anything. So I really appreciate this stuff. If you want to check out Argos fragrances, I'm going to have a link down in the description, as I will for all these fragrances. And I have a discount code which is still active. It's fresh10. You can use that. It should be here on the screen, and you can get 10% off your whole order. So check this one out. This one's blowing me away. That is Argos Homme. All right, next up here, we have a polarizing fragrance. This is one that not everyone will enjoy. And I've talked about this on my channel before, but I recently got a bottle of it, within the past several months. I was really enjoying my sample that I had, courtesy of my friend Robert from Fragrance Journey. I'll link him down below, great channel. And I just had to get a full bottle. I wasn't gonna really go out and buy it, but I have a good friend who generously provided me with this bottle from ZGO Perfumery. And I'll link them down below too. They're a great perfumery based out of the Bay Area in California. But anyway, a lot of blabbing to talk about this beauty. Hopefully I'm not holding it upside down. Looks like I'm not. This is Incident Diplomatique from the house of Jovoy, Paris. And this is oh man, I wore this yesterday. This fragrance is so interesting. It's so elegant. It's pretty unique, and it just keeps your attention the whole time. It has great performance. What this smells like, it's earthy. It's very earthy. There's vetiver in here, there's patchouli. There's also a little bit of a boozy nuance, which there's no technical boozy accord in this, but I've always said I get a boozy nuance. There's nutmeg, there's mandarin orange. It might be the combination of those two things that give me that feeling. I don't know, but there's not a lot of sweetness here. It's earthy. It's kind of smoky. In fact, I think it's supposed to almost depict the faint smell of like smoke, like cigarette smoke. That might sound disgusting, but trust me, this is so classy. This is one you gotta sample. Do not blind buy this, because it is kind of pricey, it's niche, and it is polarizing. Not everyone is gonna love this, but if you're looking for something different, something on the earthier side, that's very elegant, that is very refined, and it's something that you can wear when you're really put together in the transition seasons.
What is a season?
Yeah, sorry, seasons.
Come on, man. Get it together.
In the transition seasons, like fall and spring, Incident Diplomatique is the way to go. There's a lot of other fantastic fragrances from this house, private label, psychedelic. There's many more. I'm loving this house, but Incident Diplomatique is blowing my mind right now. Up next, we have a designer fragrance. I wanted to have some designers on this list, and there are some that have been attracting my attention. This is from the house of Cartier. This is a classic. This came out in either the early 2000s or like the mid to late 90s. I can't remember. I'm gonna put it here on screen. It came out, you know, a couple generations ago. So this will not appeal to everyone. This is kind of a grown, mature scent. Like, you're grown if you're wearing this one. This is a barbershop fougere, aromatic fougere. This is called Pasha de Cartier, the original. There's been a bunch of flankers that have come off of this. There's even a brand new recent Parfum version of this, like they did with Declaration. This is, again, it's aromatic kind of fougere territory. You got a lot of lavender in here. There's spices. It's fresh, spicy, a little creamy. I gotta say, when you first spray it on, it's gonna smell, again, kind of old-fashioned in a way, but as it dries, man, it gets so nice. You gotta love your barbershop fragrances, even ones that kind of remind you of older styles of fragrance. If you do, then you'll probably dig this. It is a classic for a reason, and I'm happy I came to it. I almost didn't hold on to this one, but I wore it one more time, and I was just loving the sillage. It was blowing my mind, and hence that's why it's on this list. Again, this will be linked down below as well. Pasha de Cartier from Cartier. Okay, we got another designer fragrance. I just recently talked about this scent on my top 4 fragrances to double up on, which you can check out here. And that list was about fragrances that I would get a backup bottle of, even though I don't really do that, but it was a tag video. I wanted to play along, and I wanted to simulate it, so this would possibly be a fragrance that I would get a backup bottle of because I really enjoy it, and it's cheap. But at the same time, I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon, so there's no real need to get a bottle. It's still readily available. Anyway, this is Sean John 3 AM. A lot of you guys commented on my last video that I featured this in. Some of you said you really love it and it's super under the radar and underrated, and I agree. Some of you said it's okay and the performance is terrible, so therefore it's trash. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with both ends here. The performance is not great on this. I think it's gonna be better in the summertime when it's actually hot. That's when it's gonna really shine. But I find this, it's a kind of a basic scent. There's nothing super different about it, but it comes together in a beautiful way. It has an interesting transition as it dries. It's something that I would not expect from a celebrity fragrance. This one has a nice like tonic water, like with citrus, very effervescent and bright and uplifting when you spray it on. There's some cooling, fresh, spicy cardamom in here. It dries down to kind of a sweet, creamy, musky leather. This is good. This is gonna be a stunner in the summertime. I cannot wait to continue wearing this as it warms up. Again, if you want to check it out, this is a cheapie. You can find this pretty dang inexpensive. I want to say under 30 bucks, maybe 35 at the most. Again, Sean John 3 a.m. Great for the upcoming warmer months, so check it out. And finally, if I'm not mistaken, this fragrance was on my previous list 6 months ago, which I did not expect. I thought it was going to be a brand new rotation, but this one had to make the cut because I burned through my decant and I got a full bottle. This bottle was provided to me by the house, and they also provided another beautiful fragrance to me, a newer fragrance that I'm going to talk about a little later, not in this video. But this is a full bottle conversion of one I was going to actually buy myself. I was literally eyeing some good prices online, and I was getting ready to pull the trigger, and then they reached out and they're like, "Hey Justin, we'd love to send you a couple bottles." And I'm like, I'm glad I didn't buy it. I feel really grateful that Parfums de Marly sent me Percival. Man, this stuff, I gotta say, I saw one of Jeremy Fragrance's videos recently. I don't remember which video it was, and in the video he was discussing Parfums de Marly, and he said that they don't make good fresh fragrances and you should not even worry about them. They do orientals better. They do great orientals, don't get me wrong. Their fresh fragrances, in my opinion, are wonderful. They're not all created equal, but if we're talking about Percival, this stuff is a fantastic fresh fragrance. Now, this, like many of the other fresh fragrances from Parfums de Marly, it doesn't really smell like niche. Honestly, it doesn't smell like something you would expect from a high-end luxury or niche brand. In terms of the scent profile, in terms of the quality, it's fantastic. It's really good. It's very well blended, very well put together, even though there's quite a bit of synthetic ingredients in this one, like ambroxan, which is pretty prominent here. It still comes together in a really nice way that is very appealing, but also still kind of interesting. Again, that's some flack that sometimes the house gets, is that they make fragrances that smell kind of like designer fragrances, but they, in my opinion, if you're asking me, in terms of quality, in terms of blend and all that, they are a step above. And I love the way this wears on my skin. This one has a lot of mandarin orange and ambroxan, as I said. There's some florals like geranium and violet in here. There's some spices. I think there's coriander or something. I think that's in here. And it dries down to some musk. And that musk and that ambroxan with the citrus and the geranium, it's fresh. Again, it has this kind of like fuzzy texture to it. When you smell it, it goes into your nose and then it kind of lingers there. And that lingering is mainly coming from those synthetic ingredients, but you gotta admit, it smells fantastic in the air, and people around you are gonna love this stuff. And because of its construction, this has really good performance for fresh fragrance. This stuff lasts on me 9 hours or more, so you got nothing to worry about. You spray this on start of the day, even in the hot weather, this is gonna last you all day. And that's hard to say for a lot of fresh fragrances. Argos is definitely one of them that does that as well, and this is another, and this is blowing my mind. I'm gonna link down to Parfums de Marly in the description where you can check them out. You can get samples, you can get a bottle if you feel so inclined. I'm loving Percival, and again, I got another surprise to share with you in a later video, a really, really nice fragrance that they shared with me, and I can't wait to show you. So now it's your turn. Down in the comments, let me know what is one fragrance that has currently been blowing your mind. I want to know what you're just gravitating towards, what you're just kind of obsessed with. Just pick one. The best one. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. But please pick and let me know, because let's talk about it. I love talking about it. I love to know what you're wearing. If you like the video, please like the video. Really appreciate your support. And if you have not subscribed, Future Justin, how about you go ahead and do the honor. I normally will say something here, but Future Justin, you can do it. I'll just wait.
Sure, I'd be happy to. Well, thank you so much for watching the video. You should go ahead and subscribe because I do all the work around here. Justin just stands in front of the camera, runs his mouth, and I stay up late doing all the editing. I'm the reason you see this video, so go ahead and hit the subscribe button to support me because I do all the work around here.
Are you serious? You're just gonna put me on blast like that?
Yeah, it's the truth. You don't do anything. Come on, close this out.
Okay.
Come on.
Anyway, please subscribe. Would love to have you back in another video. I'm gonna have a little button probably over here, subscribe button, and over here is gonna be my most recent video. Check that out. This was a review on the house of Sweetoft, so don't miss it. There's some really great fragrances in there, some affordable niche. They have great quality. Check it out. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.